Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and I remember I talked about this film during my first time viewing, but I wanted to talk about it again, because again, a lot of my videos are gone because they had footage, and I'm not taking the chance, because the director of a film that wasn't released on DVD wanted to flood my account, so I'm being more cautious. Apologize for that. But I like talking about movies like this. This one's called Blue Monkey, and if you're wondering why I have a DVD-R, it's because the film was never released on DVD. If it ever is released on DVD or Blu-ray, will probably be when the fat lady sings in outer space. That's when you get Blue Monkey on DVD. Well, on Blu-ray, I should say, or probably even on DVD. I'm talking about actual DVD, not one of those archive bullshit where, oh, but this might have been something you saw back in the 80s on the video shelf, and this is what the cover actually looked like. And I remember this video cover from, shit, little lighting isn't the best. Those are nurses there and the creature itself. And, although I like this cover too, which that's a better title for an inset. This is a foreign poster, but this is a actually, I like this cover better, and the title makes more sense. Kind of like that movie Them, which I haven't seen Them. Want to watch that sometime. I don't know this month, but yeah, right off the bat, Blue Monkey. Why this is called Blue Monkey? The only time it's in the movie is that one kid. They're in the suit. They're in the tunnels, and they say, "Oh, maybe we'll see a blue monkey." Like that's where you got the title, like Blue Monkey. You think, okay, this is probably why the film didn't do well, because they're thinking, oh, it's about killer blue monkeys? Fuck that. Of course, I'd be like, okay, I'll see that. What the hell's that movie about? Blue monkeys? Okay. That's crazy. Why are they blue? They were jerking off too much? But Blue Monkey is one of those films that is directed by William Fruet, which I guess this was a Canadian production, and unfortunately the film didn't do too much. And I guess he's directed other films that people may know of. At least I thought he did. Death Weekend, Funeral Home, Spasms, Killer Party. Same director those and episodes of the Friday the 13th TV series and War of the Worlds TV series. Some Goosebumps episodes, Poltergeist Legacy episodes. Uh, but actually, I haven't seen a lot of those. Killer Party, I know people have talked to me about. Just not. I think I saw parts of it once and wasn't really. Maybe that's something I have to see the whole thing. But Blue Monkey is one of those films that I had fun with. I'll say right off the bat, I have fun with it. It's not perfect. Believe me, I'm not going to say it's amazing or, oh, it's a great gem, it's a classic. There are problems. I would say the big problem is the pacing of the film. But for a film not on DVD, I don't think it deserves that. I don't think it deserves not to be on DVD. I mean, this is like Aberration. Although, if I had to pick, I'd probably pick Aberration over this film. But there are two films that deserves DVD releases, for fuck's sake. At least a DVD release. Let alone... You know, there are so many shitty films. And that's how I look at it. If you see Blue Monkey, you probably either don't see it on DVD-R or you don't see it on VHS. Because if the director or anyone watching this I would like to see your movie on DVD. I would gladly buy it. I would let people know about it. Okay? Because it doesn't deserve just, oh, it's just on VHS, sorry, no DVD, nothing. Because I would like to see this in a better picture quality. Because, you know, because the VHS quality, I mean, that's what, I want to thank my friend Effrey. Thank him very much for it. Because I'm a big fan of this movie. And I would like an actual DVD, but it's never been released. Now, I should get into the plot of the film. It's 5 minutes in. Um, that's one of the things I like about this film. I like the idea of the film. It's kind of like a 50s type movie plot. It really is like you take a 50s movie, but you made it in the 80s with the 80s technology and stuff. Um, I like the fact the film takes place in a hospital. Basically, you have this old guy helping this old woman, and she has all these flowers, and there's one flower that she recently got, and the guy gets sort of a prick from it, like a thorn, and he collapses. He goes to the hospital, and while he's at the hospital, this whitish larva comes out of his throat and, well, bulges in his throat and comes right out of his mouth, which I thought was pretty decent effect. And they're like, okay, what the hell's going on? And we're introduced to our characters. We have Steve Railsback. Steve Railsback, I know he was in Life Force. He did a great job playing Ed Gein. And I really liked him in this role, as he's a detective who's there because his partner was shot. We're introduced to the female doctor, Rachel, played by Gwyneth Walsh. I thought she did a really good job. Uh, I really liked, let's see, also later on in the film we have an entomologist played by Don Lake. He was fine. Uh, I really like this other doctor. She wasn't the lead doctor, but if you ever see the film, she has glasses. Um, in a way, she's kind of the head doctor of the facility. I think it's actress's name is Susan Anspitch. No, not bitch. Anspatch. Anspetch? I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, but Susan Anspatch. I really liked her. She just seemed like a very likable person. You have a group of kids, 4 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls. And actually, I can't believe this. One of the little girls is Sarah Polley, the same girl who would star in the Dawn of the Dead remake. Don't believe me? Look her up on IMDb, Sarah Polley. Look up Dawn of the Dead remake, look at Sarah Polley, look at her credits, and she was one of the little girls in this movie. I mean, she doesn't play a big part, but I'm just saying, oh my god, that's Sarah Polley. Wow, I didn't know that until after. But yeah, the detectives there and all this, so they get the larva and they put it there, and of course, a nurse is supposed to watch it. She goes off to have sex with this doctor guy. They don't fool around on their break. Some kids go in, they do a stupid thing, they put something in it because, oh, we need to feed it. And of course, it's this growth accelerator thing, so now the bug's fucking big as shit. While this is going on, there's an infection going on because, like, the guy who had the larva pop out of his mouth, he died. Like, they tried to shock, to get his heart beating, and he dies, like an explosion of blood on the doctor's faces. And there's this infection going around, so they send it to like Center Disease Control, and they go, oh shit, we don't know what the hell this is, so they are quarantining the facility, and you can't come out. And in fact, one guy tries to go out, and they warn him enough times, stop, well shoot, stop. So that was nice that they're actually warning the guy. It's like, please stop. Guy won't listen, so they have to shoot him because it's quarantine. They don't want to infect everybody. You actually have John Vernon. That was a go fucking iceberg. That guy who was in Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Savage Streets. He's actually sort of the boss of the hospital. He's actually not an asshole. You get a little bit at the beginning when you first see him, but he's actually a decent guy. He's actually not a bad guy. Which I'm like, wow, it's rare to see John Vernon in that kind of role. Like, he's actually not that bad of a guy. So I'm like, wow, John Vernon's actually a decent guy in this movie. That's different. And I like the premise of the film. I think that's one of the things that got me into the film was I like the idea. I like the fact, okay, you have this larva turn into this insect, but you also have this infection going on. So it's a monster movie and a hospital. I like that idea. You don't see a lot of creature feature movies in a hospital setting. And I thought that's a really cool location because, first off, like the location, they talk about how it used to be a mental institution, asylum. So you have like all these cool looking tunnels uh, where you get chases in the second half of the film. But a place for safety to go to where we're sick, and now it's this death trap Because again, I liked also the idea of, okay, it's quarantine, so you can't just leave. Because it's like, okay, there's a bug there, just leave. And they actually made into the plot where they can't leave. So I like the idea behind the film, like the location behind the film. Like I said, I think the problem with this film is pacing. I could imagine people seeing this film being bored by it, but it didn't bother me too much because, well, again, I think I could snip some things. Like there's this couple played by Joe can't say his name, Joe Flaherty, and this other girl, and like they're expecting a kid. You could have gotten that. You could have snipped that out. Like you could have just left like one scene in the third act, which I'll get to, but you could have snipped their stuff out. Um, there's little bits that you could have snipped out, make the pacing go a little bit faster. But I like the characters. I like Steve Railsback. I liked him as a detective. The kids were not annoying. They did stupid stuff, but they weren't annoying. The female doctor, Gwyneth Walsh, and also the other girl I was talking about who has the glasses. Again, I think that's Susan Anspach. Really liked her because she was like reasonable, even though the other doctors won't go in to help the patients because for fear of infection, she's willing to do her job. And I like that about her. She had a nice quality to her. I wish I knew her character's name. I forgot, but she's the one with the glasses. I really liked her. Um, it takes a while for the big bud to actually get into the picture. I will say that's what I'm talking about, the pacing. But you know, before then, I like the setting. I like the setup. I like some of the characters. So Don Lake as the entomologist, like there's a scene where a guy has to go get him, and the guy's kind of weirded out because he's an entomologist. He has all these bugs in his apartment. And it's definitely the second half of the film where it becomes more of, okay, it's a bug hunt. And you just say, you know, rip off of Alien and stuff like that, but oh well. As long as I'm having fun, doesn't bother me. And I like the usage of blue. Is that you see a lot of blue lights, blue, I don't know, blue filters, blue lights. You see a lot of blue, which I like that look of the film. Gave a nice little eerie quality to it. I like the look of the bug creatures. Yeah, once in a while, like when, you know, in the third act trying to fly around, it looks a little silly. But I like the look of the bug creature. It's practical. A little bit murky and dark, but I think that's more because of the VHS quality. I can't really blame the movie. It's kind of like, you know, Deep Space, where it's the VHS quality, but that's what I would like to see, a better picture quality. I would like to see this on DVD, remastered. I think that would be great. Because I think these bug creature effects, you see enough of the creature, and I thought it looked pretty good. And there's like the female that lays eggs, and it has like these two victims that, you know, are still alive, but it's, you know, pretty much sucking the life out of them. Steve Railsback kicks its ass. I love the finale where the male bud is pissed at Steve Railsback and chasing through the sewers and then through the hospital, and actually gets a guy in a wheelchair, takes his head right off. Not a lot of gore, but I like that one scene of gore. And Steel Rail's bad being chased by the creature. I did like this bit where he crashes in, and it's when a woman's giving birth, and Steve was like, oh shit. And so this is why you like the character, because he sees this, he immediately jumps through a window so that the creature could get away from, you know, the woman having a baby and go towards him. So I'm like, okay, that's a likable character. Uh, has a little bit of a sequel bait ending, which I didn't care for either. I don't think you needed that. But still, I enjoyed some of the characters. I enjoyed like the lighting of the film, a decent atmosphere to like the tunnels and stuff. The bud-like creatures, I thought was actually pretty well done. It's a film that deserves a DVD release with a better remastered picture. Again, the only problem I would say, the big problem is the pacing. The pacing in the film, I think, could have been trimmed. But either way, it doesn't deserve to be just on VHS and that's it. I've seen a lot worse films, and I had fun with this movie, Blue Monkey. Has nothing to do with monkeys, but that's fine with me. But either way, thanks for watching and take care. Later.